Hello, welcome to Rogue Reviews. So in today's video we're going to talk about how Ryanair ruined our holiday. So before we get into it, please like and subscribe so you can catch all of our videos. It really helps us grow. And we'll go into a clip of me when I landed in Lisbon, and then we'll go on to explain what happened. So we're going to be doing a mini series in Lisbon. We're going to do loads of little videos. Really cool idea. Unfortunately, it's not working out quite how I planned because I haven't got my camera, haven't got my drone, haven't got my gimbal, so I've just got the iPhone. And the reason being is because Richie, who you've seen in a lot of our videos, wasn't allowed on the Ryanair flight because it's something to do with his passport. So yeah, not a good start. I'm going to try and do some videos on the iPhone. Hopefully they're good enough quality. But Lisbon looks beautiful. So, as you've just seen, I arrived in Lisbon, Richie wasn't with me, and we're going to talk about why. So, basically, Richie's passport, since Brexit, your passport has to be under 10 years old, and you have to have at least 3 months left on the passport. Now, Richie's passport met both of these criteria. However, Ryanair said that the 3 months has to be before the 10 years, the passport becomes 10 years old. Now, this isn't actually true. Richie had done actually quite a bit of research beforehand to make sure that his passport was valid. He'd looked it all up. Portugal would have been more than happy to let him in the country with how his passport was. But we got to the gate and Ryanair pulled him up, told him that he couldn't go, and it was a catastrophe. So basically, because me and Richie were trying to save a bit of money, we had 3 bags between us. So we had our backpacks, which you could take on the plane for free, and then we'd paid for another bag you could take on the plane and then put up into the overhead locker bit. And basically that bag that we'd paid for was on Richie's boarding pass. So I then at the gate had to try and get as much of my stuff into my backpack out of that bag as I could, which meant I couldn't take the camera, I couldn't take my drone, I couldn't take the gimbal. So basically all I had was my iPhone to film with. Hence you're going to see the videos from Lisbon, and they're not quite the videos that I wanted to make, which is a shame. But also I think what's a bigger shame is the fact that Richie never actually got to Lisbon, even though legally he should have been allowed. So obviously Richie did try and get out, but it would have ended up costing him about £500 to get on a flight, which would have allowed him to actually fly. So Jet2 would have allowed him to fly. There were a couple of other airlines that had the same criteria as Ryanair, wrongfully. They'd somehow misinterpreted it, which is unbelievable considering how, they must have these massive teams of lawyers and stuff. It's a multi-million-pound company, one of the biggest airlines in Europe, and they got this wrong, and it just seems astounding, really. So compensation-wise, just to clarify as well, Richie went. They had a big argument in the airport. Richie was trying to tell them that he said they were not understanding at all. They weren't trying to research to find out if it was correct. They were just like, no, that's the rule, bang, you're done. So basically Richie went home, tried to get a flight. Obviously I said it's too much money. He then researched into it to make sure he was in the right, and he 100% was. He went to all of the governing bodies and everything like that, and he's definitely in the right. So compensation wise, he's eligible for 350 is the maximum he'll be able to get, which is crazy considering he's missed out completely on a holiday. And not only that, for me, yeah, I got to go and I made it the best I could, but it certainly wasn't the holiday that I'd planned. Having someone else there with you, having to go around on your own is definitely not as good an experience as having someone there with you. But obviously I can't claim compensation because I went. But it's just crazy that an airline that's that big can make a mistake that badly. It's not even that hard to look up and actually understand the rules. The passport needs to be under 10 years old, and you need to have at least 3 months validity on your passport. when you're getting back into the country. And easily, Richie actually had 11 months left on the passport, so he would have easily been able to get back in the country. So it's just crazy that Ryanair were imposing this rule, and recently, I think in the last couple of days, they've actually changed it now. So they've actually gone back to how, so Richie, if they had the rule, if they've got it now, Richie would have been allowed to fly. So it's just crazy that Ryanair are making these sort of blunders, and it just seems like a long list of blunders with Ryanair all the time. And I just think they really need to, I know they're cheap and you accept certain things because they are cheap, but then, you know, you're just constantly making blunders and errors and ruining holidays, and I just don't think it's acceptable. I mean, other than getting your £350 compensation, there's not much you can do, and you've got to, you know, rack it up to a bad experience and just, I don't know, never fly with Ryanair, I suppose. But it's just crazy how bad the customer service is, and was at the airport as well. So yeah, it was bad for me because obviously I didn't have the company I thought I was going to have. Also, I couldn't do the filming that I wanted to do. Obviously, it was bad for Richie because he completely missed out on a holiday. So I just wanted to put it out there, just let other people know what actually happened, and hopefully, you know, people can check. The other thing I would say is, Ryanair, we never saw anything about this thing with the passport until we checked in, which you can only check in 24 hours before, and it did pop up with the rule. And I said to Richie, well, there's nothing you can do, you're just gonna have to try your luck at the airport. Like, there's no way you can get a new passport before we go. So yeah, that's what happened with in terms of, but we didn't see anywhere else that it said this. Like Richie, when he got back, looked through all the policies and procedures, couldn't find anything about it. So yeah, really bad experience, and it's definitely put me off flying with Ryanair. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our little video on how our holiday got ruined, but I will be doing some more videos on Lisbon, and you know, I made the best of it. I did have a good time in Lisbon in terms of, you know, great food, great places to see, just a really beautiful, safe city. So yeah, these videos will be coming soon.